Hey, welcome to Help Along the Way. We are talking about the social issues of the church. Our new theme is fulfilling our obligations to family and community. Today's lesson is entitled First Fruits of Hope out of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse number 20. Have you ever waited for something and wondered if it was ever going to come? Maybe it was a package in the mail. Maybe it was a phone call. Maybe it was good news you really needed. Waiting can feel very long, especially when you're not sure what's coming next. That's the kind of feeling people had about life after death. They hoped, they wondered, but they weren't always sure. And then comes this powerful word from Paul the Apostle. But now Christ is risen from the dead and has become the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. So we need to ask ourselves a question: what does first fruits mean? Now, that's not a word that we use every day. So let's try to make it simple. In Bible times, farmers would plant crops waiting for the harvest. The first part of the crop to grow, the first apples, the first grain, that was called the first fruits. And here's what it meant. If the first part came in, then the rest was on the way. The first fruits were proof that more was coming. The thing about it is planting a seed in the garden. You water them, you watch the soil day after day. Nothing, then, one morning, you see it. A tiny green sprout pushing its way through the dirt. That little sprout tells you something big. It tells you He's working and life is coming. That's what Jesus is. He is the first one to rise, never to die again. And his resurrection is proof. And we're not done. Death is not the end. There's more life coming. So let's kind of bring this to everyday life. Imagine you're starting a new job. You work hard the first week, but you haven't been paid yet. You trust it's coming, but you haven't seen it. Then payday arrives. You get your first paycheck. Now you know something. But if I got this one, if I stay, more are coming. That first check gives you confidence. Jesus' resurrection is like that first paycheck. It tells us that God keeps his promises and there's more to come. Now here's where this gets so amazing and real. If Jesus is the first fruits, then our lives are not just about today. We're connected to something bigger, something eternal that changes how we live in our families and communities. Let's say someone in your family going through a hard time. They're discouraged. They feel like giving up. But because of the resurrection, you can bring hope into that moment. You can say, not just with words, but with your actions, this is not the end, and God is not finished. Think about a woman who checks on her neighbor every week. He brings food, she listens, she prays. It may seem small, but what she really is doing is planting seeds of hope because she believes something deeper inside There's more to this story than what we see right now. When we understand resurrection as first fruits, we begin to see people differently. We become more patient, more forgiving, more loving. Why? Why is this? Because we know God is still working on them. Yeah, He's sure enough working on us. Here's something to think about today. A question. Am I living like there's more to come? Or am I acting like this life is all there is? Because when you believe in the resurrection, you don't give up on people. You don't give up on yourself. You live with hope. Jesus didn't just rise for himself. He rose as the first fruits, the beginning, the promise, the proof. So when life feels crazy and when the future feels unclear, remember that first sprout in the soil. It may look small, but it means everything. It means life is coming. Thank you for viewing today. Help along the way. I'm Pastor Murphy. God bless you. We'll see you next time.